Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the joint webinar between Stridepath and ServiceNow. My name is Emily Krolak. I'm going to be guiding us through the webinar today. We are excited to focus specifically on a very unique persona with many of our insurance customers in the claims adjuster world. So the title of our webinar today is Fast Track Claims Adjusters, Onboarding with ServiceNow and Stridepath. And like I said, my name is Emily Krolak. I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota, just sitting waiting on a snowstorm. And I have about a 20 plus, more than 20 plus year experience in the employee experience space with a focus on, specifically talent, bringing folks on, upskilling, reskilling, making sure you have the right people doing the right jobs at the right time. And all of us here at ServiceNow and StridePath understand how critical and important onboarding is to all of your organizations. We're focusing on the role persona of that claims adjuster, but you're going to be able to see how you can apply what Kelsey's going to show today across any onboarding experience in any of your companies and any persona. So, just some quick housekeeping. You'll notice the chat has been disabled, and we've turned on the Q&A. So feel free to park any questions in there. We will run a separate Q&A session at the end, and also answer questions on the fly as we go through the webinar with some folks that will be managing the chat. We will share the slides and the recording of today's webinar with all registered attendees. And then you're going to notice, or we're excited to say that there's going to be a drawing at the end. It's a must be present to win on some AirPods that StridePath has sponsored. So we will do a live drawing at the end for that. And with that being said, I am going to pass to Matt for an introduction, then pass to Kelsey for the demo. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Emily. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Lisak. I'm a senior business process consultant with StridePath. I've been an HR practitioner for 10 years prior to getting into the ServiceNow ecosystem just about 4 years ago. I'm happy to be joining our ServiceNow team this afternoon. Kelsey?
Yes, good afternoon, good morning for everyone joining. Kelsey Collins. I am also based out of the Minneapolis area. I'm a solution consulting manager here at ServiceNow. Come from HR practitioner background, about 15 years in the HR employee experience space. So happy to be here and happy to talk through what we want to show you when it comes to onboarding claim adjusters in the insurance space. With that, we'll dive right in. So as I've already said, I'm going to be leading us through a few slides, very light slides, I promise. And then we'll get into a demonstration and wrap it with some Q&A today. So we really wanted to start a little bit with talking about ServiceNow, talking about how ServiceNow looks at transforming your employee experience and specifically claim adjuster onboarding fitting into your broader vision in any enterprise. So what we're looking at is our approach to really revolutionizing both those big milestone moments like onboarding a new claim specialist and the small everyday moments throughout an employee's entire work life. At the top, you see some of those different personas we like to provide different experiences for, layering in just our full-time employees, our people leaders, our agents or operations teams that are managing all of the requests and tickets across your ecosystem, and of course, former employees, and that all important experience of offboarding employees. Underneath that unified experience, we deliver critical capabilities, thinking about service, communication, how do we communicate with our employees, support, even getting into career development and talent planning. When you're thinking about claims specialist onboarding specifically, you're leveraging all of these, automating those service requests, targeting communications, building in intelligent support and clear career pathways, and really providing real-time insights into how your new hires are progressing. And what powers all of this? Well, that's that AI-driven recommendations to personalize each specialist's learning path, workflow orchestration, automating administrative tasks, And thinking about talent and skills, mapping to identify gaps. And of course, data fabric, that's connecting everything together. And because this really sits on that ServiceNow AI platform, it's integrating seamlessly with your existing ecosystem. So at the very bottom, you'll see your HRIS, LMS, other critical systems that you can see. And really, the bottom line is instead of cobbling together multiple different tools for onboarding, you get one intelligent platform that really adapts to each claim specialist needs and accelerating their time to productivity. So let's talk about what makes this so powerful for claims specialist onboarding and really for your entire employee experience. When you think about what happens today, you bring on a new claims specialist and they've got questions. They've got questions about enrollment and requesting equipment, trying to figure out who their manager and their team is, needing access to claims specialist systems. All of this typically involving emails and phone calls and waiting for teams to respond, maybe tickets getting lost in the shuffle. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the new hire, and it's a massive drain on the operations teams. Well, here's how we can change that. On the left, you see your new claim specialist. Simple, personalized portal where they can access everything they need in the way they want to access it. So, thinking about multi channel support, whether that's going to be chat, virtual agent conversation, going on their browser, even going on their mobile app, which we'll see some of those capabilities today. And they can access everything they need: training videos, live and virtual support, dashboards showing their progression, and really that mobile access so they can onboard from anywhere. In the middle, you'll see that employee service delivery is AI-powered assistance on a single unified experience. Instead of your operations teams manually responding to the same questions over and over, Now Assist, which is our AI platform, our platform titled AI. So Now Assist is really handling the routine stuff. It's when did you get paid? How do you enroll in benefits? Where's my equipment? All of those answered instantly. And on the right, this is really where the magic is happening. Behind the scenes, workflows automatically orchestrating across multiple departments and systems. And when a new claim specialist accepts their offers, workflows automatically trigger. Onboarding tasks get assigned, equipment gets ordered, and system accesses get provisioned. So it's really about different workflows running in parallel, all without anyone having to manually coordinate. The result, your new claim specialist feels supported from day one or even before. And your operations team is able to focus on those highly valuable tasks instead of administrative work. And your new hires are productive 30 to 40% faster. So everybody wins. And next, when we think about some top trends in insurance, really before we dive into the solution, I want to make sure we're aligned. What's driving some of this change in the insurance industry that we've seen over the past 5, 10 years? Because these trends are exactly why customers like you are rethinking how you onboard and develop claims specialists. First, you're adapting to a changing workforce and embracing flexibility. The talent pool for claims specialists has shifted completely. You're competing with remote first companies. You've got multi-generational workforces with different expectations, and you really have to meet them where they're at. Your onboarding needs to work whether someone's in the office, at home, out in the field, and it needs to feel modern and engaging, not like paperwork from 2010. So we really want to think about streamlining complex processes and really getting into how do we leverage AI and automation. Onboarding a claims specialist used to mean coordinating across IT, HR, the claims department, compliance, training. It's incredibly complex. And AI and automation let you orchestrate all of that seamlessly. So nothing's falling through the cracks. You have consistent experiences across all of those personas we saw on the previous slide, and no one's sitting around waiting for access or equipment. Third, we want to think about prioritizing employees' well-being and engagement. The insurance industry is facing serious retention problems. So when we think about that, particularly challenging with claims specialists who face high stress work, it's if your onboarding experience feels disorganized or impersonal, you're really starting off on the wrong foot. right? Onboarding directly impacts engagement, which directly impacts retention. And finally, addressing those skills and fostering continuous learning. The role of the claims specialist is evolving rapidly. New regulations, new technologies, new types of claims. You can't just train someone once and hope for the best. You need an onboarding that identifies those skills early and builds a foundation for continuous learning. So the question becomes, how do you create an onboarding experience that addresses all four of these trends at once? And that's really what we want to show you today. So today we'll follow the story of Natalie. She's a new claims specialist in our insurance firm. Natalie's going to experience a number of tasks like uploading certificates, signing code of ethics documentation, ordering equipment, and maybe even finding some training that's applicable to her specific persona. And all while we'll have AI at the center, fostering adoption of the product, but also assisting Natalie in some questions that maybe she's feeling a little uneasy about the status of her onboarding, and all important licenses and credentials, making sure they're validated and ready to go before day one, again, ensuring true day one readiness. Finally, before we jump right into the demo here, I did want to take a moment just to talk about some of the questions that I get quite frequently. And I think about this as our ethos for how we build our product. When you're thinking about and seeing a lot of our demo today, I like to think of three key things. One is going to be, make sure we move forward here. One is going to be that personalized and proactive service delivery. So as we think about curated experiences for our personas, we want to make sure that they are seeing what they should see as a people leader, as an individual contributor. Maybe it's based on roles, maybe it's based on location and information that's pertinent to who they are. Finally, next, we want to think about consumer-grade digital experiences. So we talked about mobile capabilities, an intuitive desktop experience, and of course, actionable insights and analytics. Everything we do today, we want to make sure that we're able to action on what we're seeing, driving adoption appropriately, and making sure we can improve upon the experience as well once we get feedback and actually start seeing how people are using the experience, and we can continuously improve. Always important. And we want to make sure we level set on that today before we dive right into the demo. Okay, so hopefully everyone's able to see my screen. And this is we're going to start on our mobile app. So first we have Natalie entering the mobile app because she's officially accepted her offer at this time. She receives an email from the system from ServiceNow to either download her mobile app or access a new hire portal via her browser. With that, she is able to sign in free day one, and she accesses her new hire application here because she's on the go and she's just going to fulfill a request or two just while she's maybe going grocery shopping or doing some tasks throughout her day. So here we talk about personalized experiences immediately. We have some information that's pertinent to Natalie as a new hire. She's got some information around who they are as a company, getting her excited for some of those things that are going to be a part of her day-to-day in her new role. She's got specific journeys and tasks, and immediately we see she's got some steps that are due in the next few days. We could have alerted Natalie through a number of different notification options, whether that's going to be a push notification via the mobile app, whether that's going to be an email notification, however we want to create that experience for the new hire. But we know we've got some SLAs on these individual tasks, so Natalie is going to go ahead and complete a specific task around adjuster state licensing. We know through the hiring process that she already has this license, so we're requesting that she goes ahead and uploads this document in real time. So we've got some information around this state license, and we're going to go ahead and go into our documents here. And within a few minutes, she's going to upload this specific document and we'll have completed the task. For the remainder of this specific demo, we're actually going to move to our new hire portal on a browser, just so that you can have a little bit clearer view with this demonstration of all the tasks that she can complete during her new hire experience. Few things I want to point out right away. She's got some direct information being pushed to her, which we'll take a look at in a moment. She also has a tracking that keeps her on track. All of these tasks are sequential. They might be by date, a specific type of task could be only given to them once something else is completed. All of this is organized via a specific type of time frame. We scroll down and we do see we have some things coming up due within one day. One of those items might be real in-time video that we would like them to watch and complete. Again, keeping them on track in the hiring process. We might have some documents that need to get signed before day one. Again, ensuring day one readiness as much as we can. We have some e-signature capabilities inherent in the platform, but maybe we're using some DocuSign capabilities and an Adobe integration. Directly within this view, I can go ahead, accept and complete. I might even have the signature pop up. And we've signed the document. Additionally, we have some information directly around selecting equipment. Now, we might have a field claims adjuster. We might have someone that's working in an office. Those persona-based information that's being pulled from that worker data profile will drive what type of equipment they might need. For the purposes of this example, we have a few steps that we need to walk through. We're giving them an option, again, that consumer-like experience directly in the flow of work. I can choose what type of equipment I prefer. Maybe I have some ergonomic or accessibility requirements that we can build into this specific flow. And again, you'll see I get all the information. I get to identify maybe a specific delivery location and check out within a few moments. This will trigger an automatic workflow that will go to my specific people leader and might even get me to an approval task for that people leader, just making sure everything is everything they need has been ordered and we're good to go for the new hire. Again, we get that equipment to them before day one. They're ready to go on day one with everything that they need to have true day one readiness. Additionally, throughout this process, just a few moments ago, we watched the new hire upload a specific document. That credential has specific pieces of data that we need to get validated and verified. While it'd be wonderful to just trust that every single documentation that gets sent to us is valid, is current, is accurate, we do need to go through some due diligence to verify and make sure that that specific credential is validated through maybe a federal website, maybe there's an API call, but for the purposes of this example, we've got some agentic experiences layered in here. I have my icon in the lower right-hand corner that will open up a conversation with my AI assistant. Here, because I have some concerns about, hey, I loaded credentials, then I just want to make sure that everything's validated. I'm actually going to have a quick conversational experience with our AI assistant. And what will be happening in the background is some of those agentic capabilities will start pulling in data, seeing the validation of that specific credentials. We got the right information. We were able to intelligently pull data directly from that uploaded document that we've already seen loaded a moment ago. I have some more questions though as a new hire, so I'm going to continue to interact with this AI assistant. I do know that I have to go on site for my first day. I've only been to this location once, maybe for an interview, and I can't remember if I need to prepare for parking. I think there's a parking ramp, but I just need some more information. Great, perfect. You don't need to think about paying for parking. It's your first day for orientation. It's fully taken care of. All right, we're good to go there. And just to verify that I'm good at this specific moment, are there any tasks I need to complete as a new hire? Again, engaging with that AI assistant behind the scenes, it's pulling and validating information on the specific onboarding journey that we just saw. And we can validate that actually you are good to go and you have completed all your tasks at this moment. And so Natalie can go about her day and know that she is ready and has completed everything she needs to make sure that there's nothing that's going to stop her from being successful. So moving on to our next persona very quickly, I want to talk about maybe a hiring manager or even an onboarding specialist who might manage these cases as they come in and make sure everybody's staying on track. It's about end-to-end visibility and making sure that we know exactly what we need. Everything that's getting done is getting done. And again, we don't push that start date out for those new hires. Some scenarios of claim adjusters, maybe there's a class of folks being hired. So this specific employee portal looks consistent. That look and feel is consistent from our new hire portal that we saw just moments ago. But here we have a full-time employee already integrated fully into the insurance firm. And so they get access to everything across their enterprise. This is a full-time employee, so they have specific information on, again, who they are as a company. Maybe there's some people leader specific content that's being pushed to them against personalized and proactive service delivery. She has a few folks going through journeys on her team. So we're just going to open up her journeys page and she gets a good view of everything that's happening. And she can get alerted at any given moment if something is falling behind. So let's say Natalie was maybe not completing specific tasks. It would be here that we would get alerted or again, receive a push notification via emails, maybe a push notification on her mobile app, maybe even via a Teams integration, all possible, really meeting that end user where they're at. So as you think about all the journeys that her team could go in, we're going to actually open up that specific onboarding journey that Natalie has been going through. And just again, as a people leader, getting a full view of what's going on with that specific journey. We see we're alerted with maybe some overdue tasks. We get to see all the requests that are happening behind the scenes to our procurement team, making sure hardware and software are being provisioned appropriately. If, as a leader, I'm seeing things not getting done in time, I can at any moment talk and communicate with some of those peers instead of maybe picking up the phone for the person that I know in HR or IT. Everything is within one space. We can communicate together and make sure things are on track. But for the most part, when I look over at our journey overview, I'm seeing that the tasks are being completed. Maybe we have some that are due soon, but not quite. If, for example, I did see something that was causing me a little bit of concern, it doesn't feel like my new hire is as engaged as they should be. At any given moment, send a quick note that human experience is important at every stage of this journey, making sure they're feeling a part of the team, sending them a quick note from that leader, just saying, we're excited to have you, and get them back on track in any moment. Of course, we can also add mentors, making sure that, again, they feel a part of the team from day one. And this is all consistent across the enterprise. We're not having disparate experiences from location to location. Everyone is experiencing the same journey. And we're starting to see an improvement in folks getting acclimated to their new company as soon as possible. Now we're going to jump forward a little bit in the timeline. We've got Natalie fully onboarded. Maybe she's 12 months down the road in her career. When she first started, one of the first things she did was load that state claim adjuster license. Well, one of those data points on that specific document was an expiry. And there's a process in order to make sure the license itself maintains consistent or maintains current data. So we know that there's a renewal process. We know there's an upcoming expiry. All of those data points, we can easily leverage that workflow orchestration once again, push proactive communications, notifications to our end user without the need for someone to monitor maybe a spreadsheet or something a little bit more manual for our employee to stay current and on track. And we're not running a risk, right? There's an element of risk and compliance here to maintain those licenses. Everything's being kept on a table on the employee profile. So now we're going to run a simple workflow to leverage our communication tasks. So we have a banner being pushed to this employee saying, we do have a license that is upcoming for renewal. So we need to be mindful of that and actually take action here. This will drive me to take action. And once again, we have options. We have options of how we communicate this. Might be a banner on their employee portal. Maybe we're concerned that not enough folks are going to be opening that specific portal throughout the day. So we could, again, send Teams notifications, all of those notification options that we've discussed throughout the demonstration. So once again, we have a specific task that we're going to be driven to. And that task might be, we're going to schedule a learning for you on your behalf. It's a continuing education license, so we need to make sure that you attend a class and then get that paperwork appropriately to the right team to maintain your specific license. All of that can be done within task orchestration, run through by workflow, and there's no need for that heavily paper-driven process that sometimes runs us at risk of actually moving into expiration, and we have to get that license renewed and stay current with our state. So end to end, Natalie was able to have a guided handheld experience, a journey that supported her from the even pre-day one, all the way maybe years down into the road in her career, thinking about career development, and all of it done via the ServiceNow portal, orchestrating and holding her hand through that process. I do want to take a few moments to take a peek behind the scenes. We talked a lot about workflow and orchestration. What does that really mean? So, when you think about a complex experience, a complex journey that spans multiple departments across your enterprise, you're going to have IT procurement, you're going to have hardware and software asset managing, you're going to have security, and maybe even workplace services and facilities. And all of these teams need to come together. Well, why not use the ServiceNow platform, which is a workflow platform, and leverage all of those complex journeys in a sequential way? We have many tasks that can happen over the course of an onboarding journey, and let's organize those in specific timeframes. And this is just a quick peek in how we do that on a no-code, low-code platform. So with that, we'll transition back to some slides, just a few more to wrap up here. And Samara, I'll let you take over. Perfect. And if you could move one more. Perfect. All right. So let's wrap up and talk a little bit about what we showed today. We saw a claims specialist onboarding experience, and I want to show you one more thing because I don't want you to think this is just an onboarding tool. What you've seen is built on the platform and it supports the entire employee lifecycle. So as you roll this out and see success with onboarding, you can easily expand to Hire Me, thinking about Connect Me. So all of this is connected and powered by AI. Each of these moments is an opportunity to either delight your employees or unfortunately frustrate them. And right now, most organizations might think they're a little bit more in the latter. So think about Hiring Me, onboarding and ramp up. This is what we focused on today. Is critical for the first 90 days where a new claim specialist either gains confidence and competency, or maybe they struggle and they get overwhelmed and start looking for an exit, unfortunately. We can make this seamless from the moment they accept the offer through their first close claim. But the beauty of the platform is that it doesn't stop there. Once they've onboarded, Empower Me handles their ongoing employee service needs. Connect Me ensures they have workspace tools and access that they need. Keep Me Safe addresses health and safety and compliance training that's critical in claims work. And Grow Me provides that career development path. Finally, when you think about circumstances changing, whether it's retirement or moving to another opportunity, Wish Me Well is ensuring offboarding is professional and positive. And the key insight here is that onboarding isn't isolated. When you build it on this platform, every subsequent interaction reinforces that great first impression. And your claims specialist feels supported at every stage, not just in week one. So with that, I will pass it to my peer, Matt, to talk a little bit about what's unique about Stridepath and what they can offer you today.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you again for the demo. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Again, Matt with Stridepath. So wanting to talk a little bit about what we focus on at Stridepath as a ServiceNow partner and how we help customers get the most out of their ServiceNow investments, particularly in the employee workflow space, and that set of applications, really focusing on the employee experience, the employee journeys, like Kelsey just got done talking us through, as well as some of the other areas of the platform that affect the employee experience, particularly the health and safety or employee relations applications as well. We've got a lot of experience supporting over 100 different recent engagements on the onboarding, touching the onboarding or offboarding journeys in particular. If you can, go ahead and advance to the next slide for me, Samra. Thank you much. So really what we try to do is be a true partner to the organizations that our customers that we support, and meeting them wherever they're at, right? So whether that's advisory, even if it's some, ServiceNow readiness or feature readiness, we engage with customers wherever they are, supporting implementation, managed services, and providing a variety of services again, to make sure that our customers are getting the most out of their investment, and staying agile along the way, right? Priorities change. We understand that, and we're generally along for the ride. The other differentiator, we really try to make sure that we are realistic with our customers, both on the front end and throughout our engagements around time to value. Of course, when you're making an investment in ServiceNow, you want to make sure that you're getting a minimum viable product quickly in the hands of your employees, particularly for employee experiences, right? We've got hundreds of projects to help us manage those pitfalls and make sure that your minimum viable product or your first iteration that you're going live with is robust enough to provide an improved employee experience, but then also being realistic about how, when you can start seeing additional value come through iteration, delivering on the AI promise that Kelsey kind of outlined for us earlier today. We do that by road mapping and again, trying to deliver success early, solve critical pain points early on in our partnership, and then really roadmap to ensure that you kind of see that vision come to life within the engagement. We do leverage our experience, so we have pre-built update sets, and obviously our experience in employee journeys to help shave off weeks on implementation, and obviously just that pitfall avoidance and getting a lot closer to that vision that our customers have faster than maybe some other partners. Again, we're 100% focused on employee workflow. That is what we do. We've got a number of projects under our belt, specifically in the onboarding space, supporting a number of highly regulated industries as well. So similar to thinking about the claims adjuster journey, we've worked with higher ed as well as medical, where that licensure is really important, and that's kind of built in and integrated into that onboarding experience. Enhancing the employee experience is effectively, that is our mission. That is what we do in our work with our customers.
So we did put together a custom one-page document that you all can download through the QR code showing on your screen right now. And or we will also include this in the follow-up slides and audio that we're able to send to you after we conclude here today. So thank you again so much to everybody for joining us this afternoon, leaning into this onboarding specifically for insurance, but obviously applicable across your organization. So thanks to Kelsey for the demo. Thanks to Matt for the presentation on Stridepath and being a great partner. And with that, we will give you guys a little bit of time back and
Hey,
wish you a
Emily.
good day.
Emily, we had one quick question. I know we've still got a couple minutes here. Uh, Lisa Fortes, can you talk about how Cornerstone integrates throughout the AI platform?
So I want to verify because I don't know off the top of my head, but I know we do have a number of learning spokes. So what I might do, Lisa, is send you some of that information. I'm just going to do a quick Google search on our platform here and make sure that we have the information for you. I don't know off the top of my head though, unless Matt, you do. I need to double check our spokes.
Yeah, there is a spoke that's available as far as the AI capabilities. I don't have direct experience from the AI standpoint. I know that there's a spoke there for integration, but primarily data integration, not necessarily. I'm not familiar with the AI tools
Yeah. Yeah.
available specifically on that integration.
Yes, let me take that as a follow-up for you, Lisa, and I will get an answer from our product team here.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thanks,
Yep,
Kelsey. Thanks
perfect.
to StridePath for the for the donation of the raffle item, and thanks again to everybody for joining. And let's just check one more time in the chat. Thanks, John, for making sure I checked that one more time. And with that, we will close out and wish everybody a happy afternoon.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you all.